Now then, and welcome to the video. I've lost a load of footage off my phone, so what I thought I'd do is something that I should have done last time when I was doing the stern gland filler tube. What I did was very lazy, and one of the viewers actually pointed it out. So what I've done is, this is a video here showing you exactly how it should really be done. It's not a exact this is how it should be done, but it's more preferable to do it this way. So I've taken the stern gland filler tube off. Remember, lefty loosey, righty tighty, so we lefty looseyed it off, and then I'm just unwinding that threaded bar there. Looks like a tap, and what that does is it starts dragging the grease up the tube. I'm pressing there fairly hard onto that. The actual grease I've got in that tub is quite old and it's nearly empty, that, but you can see as I'm winding back, the grease is being pulled up, and then I just press down again, give it a good old squeeze, and repeat the procedure. Sometimes you get it all over the side of the tube like that. Just wipe it in. I don't mind getting my hands mucky, it's not that bad. I'm not quite sure how many turns I did, but what I did do was keep my eye on the actual grease and watching it being dragged up the tube. There you can see how I had to open my new tub. It's still a bit of a faff to get out. You still have to push down quite hard, but it's not too messy. So as you can see, I'm keep pushing down, and I was getting a bit of splurge out on the sides there. I don't know what it was. I think it was me pressing down just too hard. I'm a little bit impatient with things like this. That's probably why I'm having to redo this video again. The reason why I'm actually really doing it is I have an operation coming up fairly soon. In fact, I've had that operation now, and I'm going to lose the use of one of my hands for a little while. So I thought I best prep everything properly and get it done. It's lovely that. Look at that. Just spin it like that. Then with the days. What I should be wearing is a pair of gloves, really, because you don't really want to be messing about with grease and oil and things like that, getting it in your skin or any cuts. I tend to work in quite an environment where I bash my hands a lot, so I have lots of cuts and things, and getting grease in that and mucking it is not a good idea. You can end up with infections. Bit of a top tip: wear a pair of gloves while you're doing this job. Makes it a lot cleaner. What I am going to do is try and find some of the grease that's in one of the little plastic tubes that you have for silicone guns, because that seems to be quite a lot easier. All you do is you point the end of the tube into the stern tube filler and then squeeze away. Should fill it up right to the brim. A lot less messy, I think. But if you don't want to do that, using this method's fine. It took me around about 10, maybe 11, 12 minutes. That's a bit precise, isn't it? 11 minutes. Anyway, it's about between 10 and 15 minutes to fill it up to capacity, and when I put it back on again, I only had to wind it down maybe 3 or 4 turns, and I could already feel resistance. The purpose of the stern gland is to actually stop water getting in the boat. I can't remember whose video I was watching the other day, but I saw a video there and the boat had sunk due to a stern gland failure. So it's always best to keep the stern gland packed properly and not to over tighten it. We usually do a cruise for maybe an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, and I'll turn the thing on the top of the tap. I'll turn it 2 or 3 times till I start to feel a little bit of resistance, and I won't go much further than that, because I don't want to just really force too much grease through it, because it just forces it out in places and it can do a bit of damage. Once you've unwound it to pretty much full capacity, then you just have to clean everything up and then replace it back to where it goes. Look at there, he's making a right mess of that. I actually enjoy this job quite a lot. That looks like it's completely full now, so we just have to replace it. Remember, righty tighty, back in position, give her a couple of turns, and then we're all set for our next journey. I really need to clean out my bilge area. I've not done it yet, and I'm going to have to wait a few weeks till I'm back in full form again. That's that job jobbed. It's time for the pets to get a bit of a walk. There's Mildred getting her steps in. If you've been watching the last couple of videos, you'll know we've been having a lot of trouble starting the engine. So I bought a new battery and I've fitted it now. Okay, so that's the battery all back in and wired up. Time for the moment of truth. We switch that to the off position. So that red one now wants to be in the 1 position for starting. Well, let's go back to 2 first. Yeah, everything's lit up. That's got a both. That's both. That's when we usually run the engine when it's charging. Here we go on to... There we go. That does not look good. No. Oh, so it wasn't the battery. We've got an issue somewhere with a bit of electric. I'm going to have to call John up. Let's try and start her on both. Uh-oh, not good. As per usual, I start with a job that I think I know what I'm doing about, and then I make a complete hash of it. Well, actually, it wasn't a complete hash. I was on the right track. There was an electrical problem. The battery's the first place you usually go to when you get anything like that. But if I'd have had my tester and I'd have tested it, I'd have known the battery wasn't done. It was actually a loose wire. It just happens. And that's the way it goes. John came down, fettled with it straight away, and we're off. We did find that possibly I need to take out my glow plugs and give them a quick clean up, see if they're alright. We can test each one individually, but obviously with one thing and another, it's been quite a busy time. John's been off work himself. Like me, it's quite boring when you're sat at home doing nothing, but he's back at work now, so we should be able to test all these bits and bobs, and I'm going to give the engine a bit of a service. Well, John is. Now that that engine's running properly, it's time to go on a cruise, and it ended up being a bit longer than we expected. We're still heading towards Hapley Bridge. I've got a lot to go through and it's getting dark. I'm on my Todd. Debbie's gone back to pick up the car and meet me at a car park nearby to where we're going to moor. Sun's pretty much set now, moon's out and high in the sky. It's not a full one, so there'll be no howling dogs this evening, no werewolves out, so I think I'll be safe on them walks on my own. It's been 3 years since we've been on this bit of canal, believe it or not. This is the way we came to get through to the top of the ruffle flag. Not sure how long we're going to be, but I think we're going to maybe turn around and go back towards Bursker Christmas time, maybe get some moorings around there just for a couple of weeks while we go off and do Christmassy stuff. Well, I tell you what, it's a deep old lock that. There are 2 over there, but I think they're abandoned, that went up originally, and they've changed it for this big one here. As you can see, it's gone dark, and I'm not normally... There's a boat in there, I think. I'm not normally one to do these locks on my Todd in the dark, but we're going to have to today. Oh, right hand gate there, don't want to stay open, so I'm going to have to cruise in and maybe nudge it. It's going to be difficult in the dark. Now I'm in here, I've got to get up them ladders there and tie her off. We'll be focusing like crazy, this camera, so it's dark. I better get on before boat floats off in the wrong direction. It's only a little gate, that front one, but the back one is massive. I don't know if you can tell on this, but it's, yeah, quite. I think there's dinky old Laura there. Oh, it must be a few feet. Anyway, I'm going to let the water in a bit slow so I don't get the boat swamping around. And oh bums, forgotten the windlass. Back down we go. Well, after a couple of trips back down into lock to get
to get one windlass, then finding out it's too big and having to go and get another windlass, and then opening the locks all wrong. I opened the paddles on the gates before I opened ground paddle, so I had to stop, rewind it back in, and then go and do the ground paddles. What a nay. Anyway, we're nearly there. Once I get through this, I'm doing no more. I'm just going to go around the corner and more up near a bridge. That's a lock gunner. Couldn't actually get in on the lock landing because CRT have put one of the boats there, so I just tied off onto that. And in the gloom there, you can just see Laura, the digger. Oh, diggers. Oh, new path's going down. A little digger that. There we are. We'll grab on, clamber on, and away we go.
Well, there we are. That just about wraps it up for today. But first of all, I'd just like to say a big thank you to all you likers, watchers and subscribers. And if you want to support the channel, remember to click all the bells and buttons that you need to. Thanks for that.
Now, the good thing about having your engine fixed is you can get hot water when you're on the engine. And that's exactly what we've done. We've been running it in about 2 hours now. Debbie's had a shower and she said I've got to have a shower as well because she's got a big surprise for me. I think she's going to take me to the pub. We didn't go to the pub.